battered cage is a small cage, roughly about 16 by 18 inches, that contains between 5 and 7 hens. Now this is such that the hen has less space per bird than the piece of a notebook paper, so it's a very small area. She spends her life there laying eggs. The bird cannot perch, she cannot nest, she cannot even stretch a wing. And obviously this is not appropriate and it has to change.
I heard that they sometimes remove the beaks.
They do. There's a process called debeaking, and the beak of a hen is cut either with a hot blade or a laser, and this is to prevent her from interacting with other hens, sometimes because of the aggression of being so close, being unable to even move around. They affect one another, they'll peck at one another, pull the feathers out. So it's a way to ameliorate a condition that we've caused. Normally a bird in free range wouldn't have to have her beak cut, but because we do what we do to them, the next step is to mutilate them.
So why are farmers doing this?
It's a very good question. I think it's because of our cheap food. People seem to think that our food has to be cheap, 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 and in fact Canadians do have very cheap food in the scheme of things. But it's being done at the expense of the animals and also food safety. You have to consider what kind of an impact the products that animals are producing can have safety-wise, food safety-wise, on us. So I don't think even in the short term it's a perhaps okay from a health standpoint, but in the long term, you have to wonder. And this is a system that's been developed actually since World War II that has just gone beyond the pale. The cages are stacked sometimes 7 high. You have thousands, 50,000 birds in one large building. And then when it comes time after they've laid their eggs for about a year, then they're pulled out of the cage and very rough. They're just grabbed. People hold the birds upside down by their legs. And being in these cages where they can't even move around, they become arthritic. They have calcium loss from all the eggs that they produce. So their bodies are suffering from osteoporosis, and their wings break, their legs break. And yet they're grabbed out of these cages and hung upside down then when they get to slaughter. And
this is happening while they're alive.
This is happening while they're alive, yeah. So like after a year of lay, they say that, okay, the production is going down, and so it's just time to kill them. So then they grab them out of the cages and stuff them into crates and then transport them legally for 36 hours without any food, water, rest, and then into slaughter, which is another whole story. But the fact that their lives are so deprived all the time that they're laying eggs for our behalf, it isn't necessary. There's alternatives. Hens can be kept on open floors, ideally even given access to the outdoors. But at a bare minimum, let them be able to perch, let them be able to move around, let them be able to have the opportunity to spread their wings.